Let's be honest with each other for a second. When you saw Fabrizio Romano drop that "here we go" on Hermann Malonga to Manchester City, your first reaction wasn't excitement, it was confusion. Who? A kid out of PSG's youth ranks who hasn't played a single minute of first-team football in his life, and Manchester City, a club that just waved goodbye to Pep Guardiola, John Stones, and the priceless Bernardo Silva, all in the same summer, decided that this is how they open the transfer window. But the more you dig into it, the more you realise this isn't a random swing in the dark. This is City doing exactly what City do, and if you've been paying attention, you should be very, very excited. This video is sponsored by Supply Handlers. So let's break down everything you need to know about Hermann Malonga, because there's a lot more to this kid than meets the eye. Born on the 8th of January 2008 in Étampes, a small town in northern France, Malonga carries both French and Congolese citizenship, a dual identity that reflects a journey built entirely on grit. He didn't start at PSG. He came up through the grassroots of French football, cutting his teeth at Melun FC, AS Lieusaint, and US Sénart Moissy before the Parc des Princes came calling in 2021. That kind of path matters. Players who earn their place at elite academies the hard way tend to arrive with a different mentality, a hunger that the ones handed golden tickets from birth don't always carry. At the Etihad, where the competition for places is merciless, that chip on the shoulder will be worth its weight in gold. Now let's talk about the player himself, because at 6'2" and still only 18 years old, what you have here is a physically imposing centre-back who is already developing into exactly the kind of modern defender that football demands at the highest level. Standing over opponents, winning headers, using his frame to dominate aerial duels, the physical tools are undeniably there. But what really caught City's scouts wasn't just the size, it was the composure. There's a calmness to Malonga with the ball at his feet, a ball-playing quality that fits perfectly into the progressive build-from-the-back system that both Guardiola built and that Maresca is expected to continue and evolve. Speaking of Maresca, and this is where it gets interesting, the context of Malonga's arrival goes far beyond just one player. The man walking into the Etihad hot seat has signed a 3-year deal and is deeply familiar with City's DNA, having previously served as Guardiola's assistant at the club before managing Leicester City and then Chelsea. Maresca knows this project inside out. He knows what kind of player this system requires. And when a manager of that tactical intelligence looks at Malonga and greenlights the signing, that tells you something. This wasn't simply the recruitment department acting in isolation. This is a footballing decision from top to bottom. What makes the deal even more interesting is how it came about. PSG desperately wanted to keep Malonga. Coaches at the Parc des Princes believed the teenager had a genuine pathway into the first team. But after multiple attempts to tie him down to his first professional contract, they failed, and City moved with the kind of precision and patience that has defined their scouting operation for over a decade. Reports confirmed the 5-year deal, a free transfer, 5 full years of control over his development, and it isn't even the first time City have raided this exact pipeline. Last summer it was Mahamadou Sangaré, another PSG Academy product, another free transfer, another 5-year deal. Sangaré arrived with 0 professional appearances but an obscene record in the UEFA Youth League, and now the striker is one of the most exciting young forwards in City's academy setup. Malonga treads the same path. The PSG to City route is becoming a well-worn one, and given that City's scouts specifically identified Malonga during UEFA Youth League fixtures, it's clear they have a detailed eye on exactly what's coming out of that Paris production line. Now let's be real about where Malonga fits into the immediate picture at City, because nobody should be watching this video thinking he's starting at centre-back in August. The senior defensive pecking order is well stocked. Ruben Dias remains the captain of the backline. Josko Gvardiol, who just signed a contract extension until 2031, is evolving into one of the most complete defenders in the world. Marc Guehi has settled in, Abdulkadir Kusanov has been impressive since arriving, and crucially, Vitor Reis is returning from a standout loan spell at Girona, where the Brazilian made 31 La Liga appearances, earned his first senior Brazil call-up, and is now pushing directly for Maresca's first-team plans. So where does Malonga fit? Initially, he'll integrate into the City Football Academy setup, most likely operating at under 18 or under 21 level. Reports suggest he could be included in City's pre-season tour, giving Maresca and his coaching staff the chance to personally evaluate his physical capabilities and tactical understanding. After that immersion phase, a loan move to a club where he gets consistent senior football is the most likely next step. That's the City model. It's how Vitor Rice was handled. It's how they've consistently protected young talent from being thrown into the fire before they're ready. But while he climbs that ladder, the competition inside the City Academy alone is fierce. Stephen Mfuni, 17 years old and already getting championship loan experience at Watford. Ryan Makaidu, who's already scored on his first team debut. Ryan Heskey, another name the fan base is desperate to see, given a real opportunity. Max Alini. The environment Malonga walks into is one that doesn't coddle you. It challenges you, and frankly, for a player of his profile, that's exactly the right pressure to develop under. The one genuine concern in this package is his injury record. Over the past season at PSG, Malonga managed just 15 appearances. Muscular issues disrupted what should have been a breakout campaign. At this stage, that's worth monitoring rather than panicking over, but City's medical staff will need to get to the root of it early. The physical tools are elite, and the last thing anyone wants is a player of this potential spending his formative months in the treatment room. Stepping back and looking at the broader picture this summer, City are a club in genuine transition and leaning into it rather than hiding from it. Guardiola's gone. Stones and Bernardo Silva both departed when their contracts expired, Silva already agreeing terms with Real Madrid. The window ahead is headlined by the pursuit of Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson. City have already had an £85 million bid rejected and are preparing a new offer reportedly worth over £106 million, which would eclipse Declan Rice's British record fee. A right-back to displace the makeshift Matheus Nunes in that role is another priority, with Feyenoord's Guevara Red being monitored closely, and a striker to support Erling Haaland further down the line remains on the agenda. Against all of that noise, Malonga's arrival is quiet, modest and deliberate. City's first signing of the summer, a free transfer, an 18-year-old most people have never heard of. But if you've watched how this club operates, how they built one of the most dominant decades in English football history by finding diamonds where others weren't even looking, then you understand exactly what this is. Hermann Malonga isn't a headline signing, he's a long game, and at Manchester City, nobody plays the long game better. What do you think of the signing? Let us know in the comments. Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. Also be sure to turn on post notifications so that you never miss out on any new videos. See you next time. Bye.
Average players train hard, elite players train smart. We didn't just build a mat, we engineered a blueprint for the 1%. Every line, every angle and every drill was crafted through months of studying elite player biomechanics. Translate muscle memory into matchday dominance. Goal 90's own training mat comes with the app to take you to the next level. Get yours today. Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Goal 90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. The deal runs only until the end of May. Goal 90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Goal 90 Shop.